bevo.com.
Matthew, you talk a lot about sort of customer experience, and I have actually moved to O2 from a competitor I won't mention, but I, like my friends and colleagues, have had a phenomenal experience with your frontline staff. And as you've mentioned many times, it's the interface with the customer, it's the front line that you've empowered. So you really do put the customer first. But can you give us an example of some other examples of how you've been able to build a customer-centric organisation?
For us to deliver a customer experience, we deliver it through the 10,000 people we've got in the UK or the 5,000 people we've got in Ireland. What you have to do is engage with your employees to do that. Yeah. If you engage with your employees to deliver that, they will hopefully deliver the right customer experience. But make sure you engage with them, but also make sure they feel part of the solution. So a couple of things that we did when I was running the UK, we had something called Thanks a Million. So at the start of one year, actually what we set out was every employee would get a bonus of £1,000 at the end of the year if we grew by 1 million customers in that year. Right. Irrespective of your rank, length of service, if you were there for that year, you got £1,000. Now, to a call centre agent who's earning £13,000, that's a lot of money. Yeah. But it was really important that I had £1,000. The call centre agent who was earning £13,000 also got £1,000 at the end of the year if we delivered. And really important that everyone could see their part in that process, that they understood by picking up the phone and upgrading a customer so he didn't leave O2 meant we kept one more customer, we were on the way to growing by 1 million. So we set that up and we had actually a 2-year programme. We set it up 1 year to grow by 1 million customers, and we did, and everyone got £1,000, fantastic. And the following year we set it up that if we ended the year at #1 for customer satisfaction, everyone would get £1,000. Fantastic. We did it again, everyone got £1,000. It gets employees understanding their role and have real skin in the game as well. The other thing we did actually, which I think is really important for a big and complex business, is you have to reduce the time that it takes for information to flow from the front line to the decision makers. So the guys in the stores and the call centres would know. So we launched the Palm Pre, which is our latest smartphone device exclusive in the UK and Germany and Ireland, last Tuesday. Okay. On Wednesday, we had reports back from the retail guys on what customers were saying about the Palm Pre, what they liked, what they didn't like, and how we should tweak the offer. If you can get that very fast flow through of information from the front line to the guys who make the decisions, you will end up with a better business, because you will either be further exploiting an opportunity or you will be solving a problem that you probably didn't know was there. Because if I waited for that to come through on a management report, it would probably be another month and a half. And you know what? By that time, customers have made their mind up about the Palm Pre, whether they like it or not. Now, the good news is they do like it. Customers would have made their mind up and voted with their feet.
Talking about customer insights, how do you make sure that you're really getting insights from your customers? I mean, are customers more, you present them something and they say, I like it or I don't like it, or can you actually use them for some blue sky thinking and really innovating and making some step changes in the customer experience?
So the most important thing that we do is we engage with our customers at different stages of product development. But what we really look for is customer insight. Because sometimes a customer will say something to you, but you have to understand the reason they're saying it to you. So we've been through a process over the last 18 months where clearly the economy has been in recession. Now what's been clear, or what was clear to us, is that we had a process as a mobile phone industry of tying everybody up in 18 and 24-month contracts. Yeah. Not everybody wanted to be tied to an 18 or 24-month contract. So we launched in the UK and in Germany and in Ireland, again we rolled it out across all of our operations, a rolling 1-month contract. So what does that do for customers in the current environment? It recognises their situation, because a lot of customers don't know whether they're going to have a job in 12 or 18 months' time. And if you can do that and understand what they're... So customers were saying to us, actually, I'm not sure I want to upgrade at this moment. I'll just stay on my existing contract. What were they really saying to us? Actually, I'm not sure whether I'm going to still be able to pay the bill in 18 months or 24 months. Off the back of that comment, actually what we did was developed a 1-month rolling contract that hit the customer insight, which was, as a customer, what I want is flexibility. give me flexibility, and actually I'll stay with you if it's appropriate. The great news is that we launched the 1 month rolling contract. Actually, customers on the 1 month rolling contract, their churn, i.e. their propensity to leave us, is lower than people on an 18-month contract. Why? Because actually we've hit the customer insight of give me flexibility and give me control over my life and my spending. That is what customer insight is about.
That takes almost as much courage, I'd have thought, as making a decision about the O2. Because, as I understand, in the telecoms industry, everybody is afraid of churn. And then you are, Matthew Key, saying, well, let's give them the freedom to walk if they want to on a monthly basis. I mean, that's going to take some courage.
It was a big commercial decision for us to do that. But if you're truly about customer experience and customer insight, and you believe you give a good customer experience, then back it up with commercial policies. Don't hide behind the fact that the mobile phone industry has always operated under 18 and 24-month contracts, because that doesn't give customers real choice. Give customers real choice. The other thing we did, which really broke the rules of the industry, was traditionally, and I think it's the same in a lot of industries, new customers used to get a better deal than existing customers. So if a customer had been with us for 18 months, if he went back onto the high street, he could get a better deal as a new customer walking into an O2 store than he could as an existing customer ringing up the O2 call centre. So we changed the rules. We said, actually, we will treat existing customers as well, if not better, than new customers. Again, it changed the economics of the industry, and actually what we did as a result, and it was a bit of a leap of faith again, was we simply reduced churn again, because actually what we were doing to our existing customers was saying, stay with us, and actually we'll look after you. So you don't have to go back onto the high street to look for a new deal at the end of your contract.
Yeah, because I think there's a belief out there that if you change operators, you're going to get a better deal because they're going to pay for you basically to go over there. What you're saying is we're going to offer you just as good a deal as if you were a new customer. So it's about putting the values first and making sure it's backed commercially, and then having the courage to put it into place.
Know what you're about, and if you've got a strategy, implement the strategy. Don't hide behind, I've always done it this way, so I'm not going to implement my strategy.
Yeah, challenge the assumptions. Matthew, you talk about the virtuous circle. Just explain to me, what are the components of a virtuous circle?
So we set our business model up in what we call a virtuous circle. So there's four elements for us, which is shareholders, employees, customers, and communities. And what we believe is all of those four elements can be self-reinforcing. So if we do the right thing by our employees, they'll do the right thing by our customers. If we do the right thing by our customers, we'll deliver what we need to our shareholders. And if we do the right thing for our shareholders, we'll play the right role in our communities. And our employees live in our communities, and so on and so on. So we believe it's an absolutely self-reinforcing circle.
Excellent. So can you give me an example of sort of the community side? How a tangible example of how you impact and work with the community?
So we have schemes in every country actually to work with the community depending on what we think are the local community needs.
Yeah.
The first thing we make sure is that it's actually part of our employee experience as well, going back to the virtuous circle. So we really like our employees to be involved in the community programmes that we do.
Right.
So in the UK, we've got a programme called It's Your Community. And it's not a highly branded thing that you'll see on the television, but actually it's local communities applying for grants of £1,000 to help them fix their scout hut or make a garden in amongst the terraced houses. So it's us putting back into the communities that we operate in and that our customers and our employees live in.
Yeah, and just explain how that then links back to customers, employees and shareholders, just so I'm absolutely clear. To get the circle.
So from a community perspective, so that particular item, a lot of the community projects we do, our employees will be involved in it. Either it will be something, so my local village scout hall, for example, applied for £1,000.
Yeah.
That's in a community that I'm personally involved in.
Yeah.
Our customers, and by the way, it doesn't need to be just our customers that apply for £1,000, can apply through o2.co.uk to get the £1,000 from us. So our customers and our community is also tying in. From a shareholder perspective, if we deliver the right customer experience as part of the community projects and the right employee experience, we'll clearly our OIBDA. We're not a charity. We don't just give the money away. We give them £1,000. Do we expect our customers then to think better of us, or people in the communities to think better of us? We hope so, and we hope they stay with us or come from another provider to be part of our customer community.
Got it. And then that adds to shareholder value because you've got the whole...
And then we can reinvest the money in the employee experience or the customer experience.
You've talked a lot about customer experience, and obviously it's important to you that you've empowered the front line of your organisation. But can you give me an example of where you may have actually got involved personally as the chief executive with the front line of your organisation?
So I get lots of letters from customers, both positive and negative. Whenever I get a positive letter from a customer, I really try and take that back to the employee that's delivered that experience, that customer experience. Right. So funnily enough, a couple of years ago, I got a customer letter who'd actually been into the Aylesbury store and said, I wanted to let you know, I went into your Aylesbury store on Saturday and I was served by James Smith, we'll call the employee, and actually he gave me a great customer experience and here's what happened. So I get that letter, and every now and then what I will do is pick up the phone and ring and to talk to that employee. Now, it was a funny story on the Aylesbury store one, because I got the customer letter and I rang up and said, hi, I'd like to talk to James, please. And whoever picked up the phone said, can you tell me who's speaking? And I said, well, it's Matthew Key. And they said, well, what do you want to talk to him about? Clearly not knowing who I was, which is cool, because we get people coming in terms of being employees in our store. And I said, I just wanted to talk to him about a customer experience that he delivered. And the person who was in said, I'm afraid he's out at lunch. Can he ring you back? I said, absolutely, he can ring me back. Here's my mobile phone number. So I left my number. The afternoon went by and he didn't ring me back. The following day, he doesn't ring me back. And I'm thinking, I wonder whether this message got through. On the Saturday, I was actually out, funnily enough, at a wedding, and my phone went, and it was an Aylesbury number. And I'm thinking, I don't know anybody in Aylesbury, beyond our guys who work in the Aylesbury store. And I said, hi, Matthew Key. And this voice on the end of the phone said to me, hi, Matthew, it's James. What have I done wrong? Well, what an insight into into human perception of the chief exec is ringing me, so I must have done something wrong.
Wow.
Well, actually, I said to him, James, really fantastic. I had a letter from customer X. You served him a couple of weeks ago. And he said to me, oh, I remember that guy. And he told me the story about the customer coming in. And I said, I'm just ringing you up just to say thank you very much for giving a great customer experience. Now, that, if I'm James in the Aylesbury store, makes me feel really good for the day. Yeah. But do you know what else it does? He will tell that story to all of his friends in the local stores, and I know that story went round the business because I had someone else play it back to me subsequently that said, you phoned somebody in the Aylesbury store, didn't you? So it took 30 seconds of my time, but actually I've made someone's day. I've said thank you to somebody for delivering a great customer experience, and the knock-on impact that gives across the organisation is huge. Mm-hmm. So as a leader, actually we have a saying in our business called shadow of a leader. People will see what you do and they'll see how you behave. And when I go into the call centres in a retail store, I know people will be looking at everything that I do. And if I happen to ring up and say thank you for a job well done to one of our employees, I really hope that as well as that employee feeling good and telling all his friends, all of the managers in the business will see that Matthew Key's done that, and they will replicate it. They will copy that behaviour. And you know what? It's often in business, we talk to people when they've done something wrong to improve it. Isn't it great to say thank you for a job well done? Just as simple as that.
Yes, leading by example. I mean, we interviewed Ken Blanchard and he was saying, catch somebody doing something right and then tell them about it.
Absolutely.
It's the same principle.
Absolutely. Say thank you. Say thank you. Everybody, I've got a great belief in human nature that the vast, vast majority of people at work, in whatever they're doing, are trying to do the best job they can. Yeah. And if they do the best job they can and do what you'd ask them to do, then say thank you. It's about creating human relationships with people.
I bet your six-man store in Aylesbury was your number one performing store in the UK for a long time after that.
Absolutely. And good luck. Great news. Great news. They gave a great customer experience. The customer was happy.
Absolutely.
Bevo